A growing number of elderly residents are vulnerable to financial crimes and physical abuse. Kansas City power couple Nadine and Burke Smith raised 2 sons and started the pet rescue group Animal Haven. In their final years, the couple required constant in-home care, and they hired Norval Ahart, and Mr. Smith signed over power of attorney to her in 2000 instead of his sons. Between 2005 and 2008, court records show that Ahart and her family were paid more than $700,000 from Smith's investments. His portfolio dropped from $4.9 million in 2000 to $1.5 million in 2008.
She was able to convince Mr. Smith that his sons wanted to put him in a rest home. So that caused a separation in the family.
Ahart was found guilty of felony mistreatment of a dependent adult. She was sentenced to 2 years probation and 30 days in jail. We want to welcome Johnson County District Attorney Steve Howe. How can something like this happen?
You know, it happens really quick, and some families, before they know it, someone will get power and control over their loved ones, and next thing you know, a good portion of their life savings is gone.
Wow, and is this that common?
It is really common, and unfortunately there's 2 groups that we commonly see involved in this. Number one, unfortunately, it's family members doing this, and secondly, care providers take advantage of the situation.
Wow, so when you're talking about family members, is it one family member doesn't have power of attorney and they get in there and get the will changed and everything? Yes,
many times they'll pit each other against another family member, get power of attorney, get power and control over the assets of their loved one, and next thing you know, they start liquidating those assets.
Wow, so let's say like a court case like this one.
Sure.
Do you go back and look at how many times the will has been changed and who it was signed over to?
Yes, and many times what we'll find is that that senior citizen no longer has the capacity to execute a change in their will. And so many times we have to put on experts to establish that they don't have the mental capacity, therefore that will was nil and void. So those are things that we have to struggle with when we present these cases. They're very difficult cases to present because many times that victim is not able to actually testify on behalf of themselves. And so you have to do it through circumstantial evidence.
Now, what I thought was surprising was that she got 2 years probation and only 30 days in jail?
Yeah, it's the frustrating thing about it is because this case went back to the early 2000s, that law was not as significant as it is today. Today we have much more teeth to the law as far as penalties for people who violate or commit these types of crimes. Back in 2000 when this started to happen, the penalties weren't as severe.
Well, and this wasn't a family member, so the boys, they didn't really know what was going on.
Sure. And you know, it's a classic example of power and control. She isolates that senior citizen away from their family members, and by isolation been able to manipulate to their own reward. So it's a very classic example of what can happen. It doesn't matter what social economic class you come from, you can be subject to this type of abuse.
Wow. Okay, so you have an event this weekend.
Yes.
A free event.
Yeah, free event for anyone who is interested in learning more about how to protect themselves at the Sylvester Powell Center in Overland Park on Friday afternoon and Saturday. We have experts in many different fields, including lawyers who will provide some assistance and to let people know how to protect themselves. The best crime prevention is by educating yourself so you won't be a victim of a crime.
Wow. All right, well, we also have experts that are going to speak directly to our audience tonight, and they're experts on crimes against the aging. It's Call for Action. The hotline number is 816-932-4321 between 4 and 6:30, and you can find more details at kshb.com. Click on Money and Call for Action. Of course, that seminar this weekend in Johnson County on Friday and Saturday. District Attorney Steve Howe, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for bringing to light some of these problems, and hopefully we can educate some people over this weekend.
All right.
Thank you.